Hey, welcome back to Better Than Yourself. Today, Better Than Yourself, sweet corn. I don't really like to eat sweet corn. Why? Because the way sweet corn is packaged, the way that, God gave us sweet corn, it's not something that's really digestible. It's not something that is nutritious in its natural form. The Mexicans used to nixtamalize it. That is, they would mix it with calcium hydroxide, and it would break down the hull. It would start to kind of alkalinize the corn kernels and release the nutrients. And in doing so, they could use that corn pulp that they had made with the nixtamalization process, and make their tortillas, make their masa, and get a lot of nutrition out of it. When white men saw the Native Americans eating sweet corn, they thought, hey, sweet corn's cool, we'll take that, we'll go and eat that. And they found that it's not really nutritious. They're getting a lot of, it's corn, it's high fructose corn syrup. This is where that comes from. And so I want to evade that. I want to eat some corn, but I don't want to get into all those sugars. I don't want to get into all those, complex carbohydrates that my body can't assimilate and digest and make use of. I want to get to the nutrition of it. So how am I going to do that? Well, I could nixtamalize it. I could, soak it in some calcium hydroxide, and I'm going to ferment it. I want to make a fermented corn salsa, like a corn chutney, if you will. And it's super easy to make. And all you need is a little bit of corn, some sweet peppers, a little bit of onion, some salt, and we'll make something delicious, a nice a corn relish. And I think we found a delicious way to eat sweet corn this summer that's not going to give us a lot of sugars in our diet, that's not going to give us a lot of, empty calories and whatever that high fructose something. I don't want to get involved with that. I just want to enjoy some corn. So here, let's take a look at what we need to do to get into this and really get some good nutrition out of it. The first step is we're just going to shuck the corn and then just cut the kernels off. We'll cut up some other vegetables, put it in a little jar, ferment it for a little bit, and we'll have something really delicious. So here, let's get going on this. Basically, buy your corn, as fresh as you can. The farmer that I bought this from said that they picked it just yesterday, and so it's super fresh. Rub off the silk. And with a nice sharp knife, you can give yourself a firm base. And then what I want to do is just cut the kernels right off the cob. And just kind of feel, you can feel that cob in there. But if you just run your knife down along the denser part of that cob, you can get all these nice tender kernels off of here. And this is what we're going to use to make our salsa, to make our corn chutney. So look how easy this is. I just shucked it real quick, rubbed off the silk, slice off the kernels, and make as much as you want. Here, I just have two ears. Rub that silk off of there. It's really easy to get off. Let's get all this nice corn in a bowl. Next ingredient, red pepper. This is great. This is going to give us some beautiful color in our. Get those seeds out of there, and then we're just going to chop this up. I try to make, when I'm doing something like this, I like to just kind of chop it up and get everything about the same size. So, think about, as I'm slicing up my pepper, about as wide as a kernel of corn. So I just do some little julienne with the pepper. Get all that in there. And we're going to make, just like I said, about as wide as a kernel of corn, and get everything about the same size. Then when you go to eat it, you don't have sort of odd-shaped pieces, odd-sized pieces in there. And then a cross cut on all your julienne, and you'll get some nice pepper kernels here. Grab the pieces that didn't slice out. Anything that's sort of whiter looking, the ribs, I usually pick out. They're kind of bitter. Don't need those in there. Hey, that's looking good. All right, so we got our corn. We got our peppers. What else? Next, I'm gonna do probably about a half an onion, a whole onion. It's really up to you. This is yours. You know, own it. Do what you want. Add as much as you like. If you like onions, use a whole onion. If you think that you don't like onions too much, use a half an onion. Again, slice about it as wide as a kernel of corn. We're trying to get a nice homogeneous mix here on all of our ingredients. Let's get that in our bowl. And that's it. That's everything we need for our corn chutney, our fermented corn salad. And look at what we got. That's beautiful. Nice colors in there. I got a lot of flavor coming off of that onion. All right, so far we've got our onion, we've got our corn, we've got a little bit of bell pepper in there. Let's just get a little bit of salt because, again, we're fermenting. So I want to do a little bit of salt. I just want to basically salt it to taste. I'm thinking for, what do we got? 2 ears of corn, a pepper, half an onion, maybe 2 tablespoons of salt. Taste it, just stir this in there, see where you are. And what we're doing is we're creating an environment that is going to harbor the good bacteria, those lactobacters that we're after, and we're going to do a lactic ferment on this. And the bacteria that's going to cause this to rot, to go bad, to create off tastes, don't like that salt. So by adding a little bit of salt, it's going to make it taste good. It's a little bit salty, but once this is fermented, you're going to have a lot more lactic acid in this, and that's going to offset the salty flavor. So we'll go ahead and just pack this in a jar, and we can ferment this, and it's going to be delicious in just a couple of days. I'm not going to ferment this for like 6 weeks. I'm not going to use this to go over the entire winter with my corn salsa. I just want to ferment some of the sugar out of this corn and make it a little bit more digestible. All right, so let's pack this in a jar. When I'm fermenting something like this, I really like to use a pickle pebble, which is basically just, about an inch thick, 3/4 inch thick piece of heavy glass. And it fits right down inside a wide mouth jar. And we can squish some juice out of the corn, maybe add a little bit more water, just to kind of create an aerobic environment. We're creating an environment with no air. So look, I'm pushing the air bubbles out of that corn mix, because if you've got air in it, you're going to get mold. You're going to get, again, those off flavors, those kind of bacteria that aren't really working for us. So I like to just make sure everything's underwater, push all the bubbles out, and then I've got a pickle pipe. I mean, if you don't have pickle pipes, just you use a lid. Just use a canning jar lid and a canning ring. And, don't put it on too tight if you don't have a breathable lid. Put this ring on here. This thing will burp itself, so I'm good. This is ready to sit on the counter for about a week. If you're just using a regular canning lid, give it just a half a turn. Just, so you don't want to build up a ton of pressure in this jar. You don't want to have to remember to burp it every day. So I usually just back the lid off a little bit and just kind of keep it loose. What's going to happen now is the lactobacters, the lactic acid bacteria, those bacteria that create lactic acid, are going to start to colonize. They're already on the vegetables. They're going to start to grow, multiply, eat all of that sugar in the sweet pepper, in the onion. Those are all really sweet, vegetables with a ton of carbs in them, a ton of sugars in them, natural plant sugars, are all going to start to get eaten by the lactic acid bacteria. they're going to create carbon dioxide, which is, in my case, going to be given off by the little, the CO2 can release, and create lactic acid and sort of pickle what we've got here. And if you taste this in about 3 or 4 days, you'll find it's not salty anymore, but it's got this really nice lactic acid, kind of like a chutney flavor to it. And I think you're really going to enjoy this. I made one, here, watch. Here's one I just did, I don't know, about a week ago. And it's really delicious. I did it with just like some yellow peppers. And it's pretty much the same consistency. Nice and crisp. But it's got that, that lactic acid flavor that really gives it a nice little bite. I lost the saltiness because, like I said, that acid flavor really balances out the salt. And this is delicious with, on the side of a barbecue. Just over a little bit, spread over a little bit of fresh garden salad. I think you'll find that you're really going to enjoy this stuff. And what more can I say about it? It's bettered on yourself. I hope you enjoy it. Hey, and listen too, if you're a fan of the show and you want to support the show, I've got some t-shirts available now through teespring.com. If you click on the link below, right down below the video, you're going to see the little banner page of t-shirts, and they're awesome. I've got the It's Always Bettered on Yourself logo on them with a big old pickle for you, and they're about $25. And pick up a t-shirt for you, for your friends, make great Christmas gifts. And we're doing a real quick promotion this weekend. Grab a t-shirt and support the show, and I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe and share this video with all your friends. Thanks for watching.